Hello, my name's Katie. Welcome to my shed. It is still the 15th of March. I'm recording two videos simultaneously, which probably won't bode well. I suspect I'll get them muddled up and you'll end up with bits of one video in the other one and all sorts. Because I'd started one video and then decided that I didn't want to upload it until next week because I want to put the whole workshop journey in. So what I'm going to do today is start a separate video ready for Tuesday, and because it's art day, i.e. I meet my art group today, I'm not going to be able to film much of me painting. So what I'm going to do is I'll talk to you a little bit about what I'm going to do today and why, and then when I come back I think I'm going to do like a few reflections on what I've learned over these last 10 weeks. I know I did that at the beginning, but some bits have changed and I've definitely learned other stuff. So I feel like this might be a good time to share. So today I'm going to do, I'm not saying I've caught the watercolour bug because I really haven't, but I'm going to try and do another watercolour. So this giant bee here is on my friend's hand, and she was telling me a story. She's, with the caveat that she's not a very spiritual person, but her mum passed away at the end of last year, and they had a thing about bees between the two of them. And then last weekend, this massive bee, I mean it wasn't as big as this picture obviously, but it was a big old bee, just landed right on her and just sort of hung out with her for a few minutes. And I thought it'd be a really nice thing to do a little painting of it for her. So I've printed it out and I'm going to trace the image, well, like transfer it using this piece of paper, because I want it to be the exact bee photo of the bee that she saw, because I feel like that will hold more feeling, memory for her. So I'm going to try and do that today, and I'm going to do it in watercolour, so I will see how that goes and I'll show you it when I get back, and then we'll do a little bit of chatty stuff. I'll probably take lots of paper because I suspect, knowing me, I'll have to do about 800 of them to get one that looks okay. So, right, I will see you in a few hours. It'll probably be dark when I get back. As predicted in the video that I started recording this morning, that really cold hard frost has blown off and it's lovely and sunny now. So hopefully it will stay like that. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Just pop these clips in because I thought it would prove what a lovely day it was. The kite was flying really low over our house today. I just thought I'd pop in a couple of clips of the bees as I was working on them. Good evening. I'm back. Giant bees behind me. Some have turned out more successful than others. Typically, whenever I'm doing more than one painting, you find that there's bits of each that work really well and then bits that I don't like as much. I'll bring them closer, give me a sec. So, don't know how well you can see them. There we go. So I started with this one. This was my first one. The wings definitely need to go darker. What I'm planning on doing is darkening the wings, and then I'm going to work over the top with some pencils and maybe some gouache to see if I can get the highlights of the bee's wing. I actually think the wings on this one turned out a little bit better. And then this was the third one I did, which actually on screen doesn't look as successful, but actually in real life that was probably the best one of all of them. So they just need a bit more work. I'll do some pen to get some of the fine lines and detail in. I'm hoping she'll like them, or like one of them. I don't suppose she'll want 3 of them. So that was my afternoon. It was quite fun. Lots of natter, some cake, excellent lemon drizzle. and just like nice chats, nice people to be around, and nice dogs to fuss. Yeah, it's a lovely afternoon around there. Right, let me put these away and then we'll chat. So I was going to chat a little bit about what I've learnt over these last sort of 10 weeks, and just a bit about my journey really, and what the next steps are. So I think what I've really enjoyed doing is making the content for you, and the fact that it makes me come in here. I said this on the last video actually, but it makes me make time. So for example, we've just got back now and I've put tea on, and previously what I would have done is then just stayed in the house and scrolled on my phone for 20 minutes while tea's cooking, and instead I've decided to come in, have a chat with you and just be in this space, and I wouldn't have done that before. So it really has helped me make the time to look after myself, I think. I wanted to touch a little bit on time actually, because one of the things that I get asked quite a lot from friends and people I work with is how I find the time to do all the stuff that I do. So I mentioned on my first video that I do work full time, and I'm quite lucky. I think it's lucky, I guess it depends on your viewpoint, but my shifts are quite long. So I work 10 or 11 hour shifts, which means that I get days off during the week, which means I get time back. So it's quite helpful to have a day off in the week. I tend to work 4 days a week, and then I get a third. Every now and again I'll get a 3-day week, and that means that when my daughter's at school I can come in my shed, providing I haven't got errands to do and jobs and, you know, dentist appointments and things like that. But it does give me time that if I was working a typical sort of 9 to 5 job, I wouldn't have that time, and it would be harder to come in the evenings to come have some shed time, because there's always things to do in the evenings, isn't there? Washing, ironing, cook tea, bedtime, homework, all those sorts of things. So the fact that I have days off during the week does give me a little bit of flexibility with how I manage my time. And I do know that I don't know if I did mention this actually, but I also do a voluntary role. So I work, in addition to my paid work, I have a voluntary role in a charity organisation in my speciality of work. Mostly that is done in the evenings, so if we have meetings they're at night time, so that's sort of squeezed in. And I am very lucky, as you know, much as I'm going to moan about him, he won't watch this video, but my husband really doesn't mind if I sit in my shed all the time. It probably means he can watch football without me moaning at him, but you know, he's very supportive and just lets me crack on and go out and paint all day if I want to. And I guess the other reason I have lots of time is that very annoying cat getting me up at stupid o'clock. So the fact she gets me up at 4 o'clock, if I'm lucky I'll get up at just before 5, means that I have more hours in my day to get in the shed and get doing things. So I guess there's a bit of a win there, if you can see it that way. It doesn't mean I go to bed early, but that's time I would probably just be scrolling through my phone if I wasn't asleep. So right, what else was I going to talk about? I think the other thing is, I don't know if it's the YouTube as such or just the fact that it's made me come and be in my shed more, but I have found that the more I'm here in my shed painting and the more I'm creating, the more I want to create, because it sparks new ideas, and it sort of makes me think, oh, next time I'm going to do that. So a lot of my videos that I've been doing recently, where I've been testing out the pencils or trying different types of paint, then makes me think, oh, I really want to do X, Y and Z. And so it sort of gathers momentum just by being in here. By default makes me more creative. And I think that has to come back to this channel, because if it wasn't for the channel, I wouldn't be in here as much. So that creative part of my brain, it just isn't engaged as much, and it has also made me try new things, so new techniques, new mediums. And I just wouldn't have done that before. I would have stuck with what I know. I wouldn't have been doing watercolour bumblebees, that's for sure, because I wouldn't have even tried. I would have done the watercolours that I did before. So I think I can't thank the channel enough just for making me crack on and do and have a go at things. Because I mean, they're probably not the best watercolours in the world, but they are a million times better than they would have been if I hadn't even tried, aren't they? So, God, so cheesy, so cheesy. One of the other things that has come, I guess it comes under motivation as well, is that I've been watching more art channels on YouTube, like to help give me ideas of what I could do. Sorry, I keep getting glimpses of the birds. The birds are going crazy up there today. Yeah, so you're watching other creators, and that makes you want to create, because you get ideas. And the more you're around creative people, the more that makes your brain think creatively, doesn't it? So yeah, I think that's it from that point. And I know I definitely said this last time, but honestly, no one cares. No one cares about your YouTube channel. I really thought everyone else's worlds would stop because I'd started doing this, and people don't care. People that I don't know what I thought would happen, but it loses the novelty, I suppose. So even family members that maybe watched the first few videos just to see what I was doing now are like, oh yeah, no, I can't keep up, you're doing too many, or yeah, just people really aren't that bothered, which is lovely because it's quite freeing. And I guess I thought that colleagues would think it was weird, and they may well think it's weird, but no one said to me, oh, you're weird. They might just be doing that behind my back. Yeah, it's great. It's very liberating, I think, coming on here talking a load of nonsense. Maybe people watch, maybe people don't. It's like therapy. It's like free therapy. And I think it probably links back to when I was saying about watching other creators on YouTube has helped motivate me, but it's sort of also opening new doors. So it's making me talk to people that I wouldn't have spoken to before, other artists, other creators, and just building, I guess, human connections, which I know I would not have done otherwise. I'm really, if you know me, I'm very introverted. I don't like talking to people, particularly new people, even if I know they have the same interests as me. I'm not going to do that. So I have quite a small circle of friends because of that. And actually, this channel has helped me talk to new people because there's kind of that barrier, the sort of internet barrier, and you know, you connect through your art or your channel, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be making those connections, because it takes away the scariness of having to speak to somebody in person. Now I really do sound like I need therapy, but yeah, so that's really helped, and it's been really nice. And it has helped me push my boundaries because of that. What else has it helped me with? I guess the most important thing is I started doing this for a bit of fun, to help me be more creative and push my sort of art journey further, which it definitely is. But also it was some fun. It's a new hobby. It's not being in the shed. This is a very old hobby and an old shed, but the whole YouTube thing is sort of like a hobby. I've learned how to do editing. Hopefully it's getting better. It's still not brilliant, and there'll definitely be more things I can learn, but it's given me something to do at night. So once everyone's in bed, not everyone's in bed, but you know, it's bedtime, I'll go and do some editing, and it is quite a nice way to wind down. So yeah, it is good fun. Good fun. I probably listen to less audiobooks now in my shed though, which is the one downside, because if I'm recording I can't be listening, because nobody wants to listen to the rubbish I listen to on there. So that's maybe the only downside, I think. Yeah, I think it is. The other thing which comes in a similar line to it being quite fun and it being a hobby is actually I found it really good distraction from thinking about work. So I don't think this is a unique to me problem, but I definitely found that I was thinking about work way more than I was in work. So on my days off or at night, I'd be thinking about projects going on at work or troubles we were having, that sort of thing. And you know, I'm not being paid to be there, so I don't really want my brain to be thinking about it all the time. And this has helped be a really good distraction from that. So it's a focus. So when I'm not at work, rather than thinking about what's going on there, I'm thinking about what video can I do, or oh, shall I record that thing I'm going to do. So yes, I think it's been really good from that point of view. And the more I'm talking about it and saying it out loud to this camera, the more I think actually it has been like a really good therapy, really good for my mental health. Probably quite lucky I haven't had any, you know, random comments or anyone say anything negative to me. Then it might not be so good for my well-being. But I think actually it's been really good from that point of view, just giving me something else to think about. Yeah. Okie dokie, so therapy finished. Thank you for listening. My advice is, if you're thinking about setting up a channel, just do it. The hardest bit is doing the first one. Once I've done that, actually it's got much easier. I don't have fancy equipment. One day I might buy something, make my life a bit easier and make these videos better. So it doesn't really cost. You can do it on your phone and you don't need fancy editing tools or anything like that. I just use iMovies, which came with my computer. And really, people will listen to anything, won't they? If you're watching this, then that's proof of that. And I think you might find that it has a lot of really positive effects. So do it. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this. It's a bit of a short video, this one, and very rambly and a bit odd. Appreciate you spending the time to hang out with me. If you are watching this and you are a creator on YouTube, can you let me know, pop a note in the chat and let me know what you think the biggest benefits to you have been, or learning points, I guess, as well. Would be really interesting. And have you found it cheaper than therapy? Because I have. I'm going to crack on. I won't do this today, but I will show you in one of the next videos. I'll show you a little one of them finished, in case you're interested. Have a lovely week and I'll see you soon. Bye.